that was very short about Solidaridad and STIP. And then now, hopefully, the reason why you are here and where you are going to submit proposals to. So the Aquaculture Innovation Challenge. Maybe the next slide. Yes, so the idea of the Aquaculture Innovation Challenge is to identify those bright ideas and bright minds in Vietnam in the aquaculture sector, and to connect those ideas and people to knowledge, capital, and finance. I would like to tell you a little bit about the consortium partners with who we are organizing the competition, because it's very important to understand for you who will be looking at the proposals that you are submitting. Yeah? So the organizing committee you saw us today, it's TIP, Solidaridad and Fresh Studio. Our institutional partners, the Dutch government and the Vietnamese government, and our silver sponsors, INVE and De Heus. INVE and De Heus are both input suppliers to the aquaculture industry. All the companies and financial institutions that are partners in the competition also are jury members. So they all have their specific interest in how they will look at this competition. The supporting partners consist both of companies, of governments and financial institutions. I want to give a couple of examples. For example, Aquaspark is here. Aquaspark is an investment fund that is investing only in the aquaculture sector. And they are a venture capitalist fund. So they actually invest and take shares in companies that do social and environmental good while delivering economic results. Some of the other funds, like Rabobank and Alterfin, from their impact funds. So Rabobank is a commercial bank, but they have the Rabo Rural Development Fund, which is an impact fund. They, however, do not invest in your company, but they provide loans, preferential loans. So with the consortium, we tried to have such a group of investors that all type of financing that a startup might need is available within the consortium. Yeah? And of course, the companies can provide technical support, know-how, network, etc. So the competition is organized in 2 rounds of proposals submission. Yeah? The first round is opening officially today or tomorrow, Marion? Today. So from today onwards, tonight, if you like, you can submit your proposal to the competition. Everything that I'm telling now is available on the website. I'm sure you have all found the website address. It's available both in English and in Vietnamese. So all the details, even much more detailed than I will explain now, is available online. And I really recommend you to read everything before you start really thinking about what to submit, because it will save you time and it will improve your ideas. So the application deadline of the first round is mid-February next year. So you have quite some time to develop your proposal, although I know that Vietnamese New Year is there. So, but I hope that between festivities you will manage to submit. In the first round, what we ask from you is rather limited. So the amount of work is about a 2-pager of text in a preset format with preset questions that we would like you to answer. So that's really limited. From the first round, we will select the winners that go through to the second round proposals. The maximum of companies that can go through to the second round is 36. So 36 proposals will be admitted, maximum from the first round to the second round. Only proposals that score out of 100 maximum points, 60 points, will be allowed to go through to the second round. If there are more than 36 companies with a 36 or higher, of course, from the bottom, you start being not admitted to the second round. So the second round, the results of the first round will be communicated quite soon after the submission date. I believe there's 2 weeks in between. So after that, again, you have quite some time, about 2 months, to prepare your second round proposals. The second round proposals will be much more complete because, of course, based on that round, the 9 winners of the competition will already be selected. So the second round proposal is a lot of work, and therefore we only allow the real good potential proposals to go through to the second round. After the second round, the 9 winners, it's a maximum of 9 winners, I must say, because just like in the first round, in the second round, the minimal score you should achieve out of 100 is 75. So that's quite high. So your ID needs to be well developed on all different components. The bootcamp will be from 12th to 15th June. And it's combined with a pitching event where you will present your IDs to the supporting team of the competition. So all the investors, all the private partners, all the other donors will be present at the pitching event and will judge the final winners of the competition. So on the bootcamp, in the bootcamp, you will be coached and supported by a number of really experienced coaches, experts from the sector, from finance, from business, from science and from civil society, in order to support you to prepare a pitch that will be successful. So the pitching event is 16th of June. Okay, categories. So we don't have categories based on a certain topic or a certain species, but we have categories based on the stage in which the idea or the innovation that you want to propose is at the moment. So the first category is design. Design can be from the point that the idea is in your head, but is not yet on paper, is not yet put into practice. So this category is really open for very, very innovative ideas that are not yet put into practice, but that are very high potential to actually have impact on the sector. The second category is demonstration. So you could say these are middle stage ideas. This must be ideas that are already to a certain extent piloted or demonstrated, but still need a full proof of concept. The full proof of concept is not yet there. Then you can submit to category 2. The third category is about upscaling, and I think that Gibran from eFishery at the moment with his company is in the upscaling phase. So proof of concept is there, the idea has been demonstrated, but now you need support to reach scale, to replicate your idea to other sectors, to other species, to other countries. And for that you will need finance and investment. Who can participate? Not unimportant. So who can participate depends on the category that you are submitting to. The main reason is that as an individual, if you submit a proposal for the third category, for upscaling, but you are not financeable, you are not bankable, then it does not make sense as an individual to submit in the third category. So in the first category, the design category, everyone can submit. It doesn't matter whether you are a scientist, a farmer, a processor, someone from outside the industry, everyone can submit. In the second category, this changes a little bit. So in the second category, there needs to be at least a startup team. This does not yet have to be a legal entity, because sometimes you will start as a project. You have not yet formalized but you are actually already doing it. You are putting it into practice. And for profits, so for legally registered for-profit entities. So not no NGOs, no scientists, no universities, etc. Only business. The final category, upscaling, in which bankability and financeability is really important. Only for-profits, only legal entities can submit proposals. This is very important. Huh? So everyone around the world can participate in this competition. So you might have competition from Europe, from the US, from Bangladesh, from Indonesia, but the innovation that is proposed must be focused on Vietnam. So the innovation must be applicable in Vietnam. Okay, so innovations can apply through all stages of the supply chain. So starting from feeding and breeding, all the way up to marketing and distribution. So also in the farms, but also in the supply chain, post-harvest and waste and marketing and distribution. So it's not only about innovation in the farming technology, but it can also be about innovation in the supply chain, innovation in processing, innovation in marketing of the products. So everything is allowed. All relevant species. We expect and the most proposals for the most important species. So, of course, shrimp, black tiger, vaneme, rosenbergi, for freshwater fish, for tilapia and for pangasius. But potentially you might have very good ideas for crab and clams, soft shell crab. A soft shell crab hatchery is still very problematic. Or marine fish, cage farming at sea. Okay, the jury. I already mentioned we had all the partners of the competition are also represented in the jury. Every category will be judged by one jury team, and each jury team will consist at least of 4 persons representing science, civil society, business, and finance. So your proposals will be judged from 4 different perspectives. And you need to develop your proposals equally on each topic. So the scoring topics. The first topic is innovation. Of course, we are talking about innovation, and we will see whether the innovation that you are proposing, whether it's really revolutionary, whether it's really new. It can be maybe a technology that's already applied in another country, in another sector, that can still be innovative, but it might also be a technology that's applied in totally different industries and still totally new to aquaculture. So it might not be new in another industry, but it must be new to aquaculture. Impact. I already mentioned what we do is about impact. So the ideas you have, even if they deliver huge economic value, if they do not deliver social and environmental impact, then your idea might not succeed in this competition. So you need to be able to explain how your innovation will have a positive impact on people and the environment. Yeah? So if you talk about social, this can, for example, be about new distribution models. So a certain technology might be very, very common for big corporate farms, but might be not applicable at the moment for small-scale farmers because the technology is too expensive or too knowledge-intensive. So also new business models for existing innovations, making them available for a bigger group of producers, contributing to livelihoods of small-scale farmers, can be very successful in the competition. Business potential. If you have a nice innovation with a huge impact, but it cannot compete, or it cannot be profitable, of course, then you don't stand a chance in the market. So business potential is one of the scoring topics. And the final scoring topic is finance and investment potential. And so here we will look at leadership. What is the team behind the proposal? Is the team capable of developing a successful startup company? What is very important to mention is that for the first category, for design, in the first round, the most important scoring topics are innovation and impact. For the second and the third category, for demonstration and upscaling, all categories weigh equally. So you can get 100 points max, so 25 each, except for the design category, where the first two will weigh 40 points and the second two will weigh 10 points. Because we think that a brilliant scientist with a brilliant idea might not yet have fully developed the same idea on the business and the finance aspects. But we don't want to exclude those ideas in the design phase from the second round, because we think that eventually, with support, these ideas might be developed in very successful innovations for the future. Prizes. Okay. The first award is the bootcamp and the pitching event. So there will be selected a maximum of 9 winners from the second round. These 9 winners will be invited to a bootcamp at a location in Vietnam. It will be a very comfortable, inspirational environment where you will be pleasure cooked for 3 days to maximize the potential of your business model and to prepare for the pitch, because pitching is not easy. So you will be coached very intensively during 3 days to prepare a successful pitch for the jury, which will be at the pitching event, which is connected in the same week as the bootcamp. Travel award, the winners will be provided with a full coverage of the travel and accommodation cost for the bootcamp. And finally, there will be an impact prize. It's important to note that now it is $10,000, but the coming months we will be increasing the amount. So the eventual amount we will announce in a couple of weeks or maximum 2 months. So the minimal amount is $10,000. But of course, the biggest prize you can get is that during the pitching event, you are connected to an investor that is gonna invest in your idea and your company. That is the biggest prize you can get. So then I'm happy to hereby finalize my talk and to ask you to join us in the competition and to create impact.